Hi, let's have some African time, people. Well, so we are going to discuss Africa's GDP per capita, or Africa's richest citizens by GDP per capita. That is our talk we are going to discuss. Don't forget that we are ending the year 2024, so we are actually going to dive inside and talk about almost everything, every ranking concerning Africa that we are actually here to share, okay? So we are actually going to do the 2024 rankings, then next year we continue with a new year, okay? So let's go on with our findings. Well, so the African Fast Zone people recently shared this. They say Africa's richest citizens by GDP per capita. So number one is Seychelles with $21,870. Okay. Number two is Mauritius with $12,970. Number three is Gabon with $9,310. Number four is Botswana with $7,870. Number five is Libya with $6,970. Number six is Equatorial Guinea with $6,730. Number seven is South Africa with $5,790. Number eight is Algeria with $5,720. Number nine is Namibia with $4,740. And then lastly, at number 10 is Cape Verde with $4,650. Yep. So this list right here is talking about the Africa's richest citizen by GDP per capita. Mind you, the key point here is GDP per capita. Okay, that is how, based on the economy, each citizen is actually being earned or having concerning their current economies in 2024. Okay, and as you can see, the list shows Mauritius, Gabon, Botswana, Libya, Equatorial Guinea, South Africa, Algeria, Namibia, and then Cape Verde are in the top 10. And the source is from Statista. Okay, hope you guys have known that Statista have shared this. So you can actually go on the Statista's page and you can find it out yourself and know more about this information. But to make more tests more interesting, okay, we all know that the GDP per capita actually goes hand in hand with the population of the country. So let us actually broaden our learning and our research and our facts to actually understand this point we are stating here. So let's do this against the population of the people, shall we? Let's go. So again, we have this. So Seychelles is said to be the richest citizens by GDP per capita in Africa with 21,870. With a population of 0.1 million, okay, that is about 10,000 or 200,000 or 100,000. Yeah, that's 100,000 people. So number two on the list is Mauritius with $12,970, and they have about 1.3 million people. Number three is Gabon with 9,310 GDP per capita with the dollars, and they have 2.4 million people. Number four is Botswana with $7,870 with a population of 2.7 million people. Number five is Libya with $6,970 with a population of 6.9 million people. Number six is Equatorial Guinea with 1.7 million people. They have $6,730 and then number seven is South Africa with $5,790 with 60.4 million people. That's the highest on the list so far. So we have number eight, Algeria with $5,720. That is a 45.6 million population. And then number nine is Namibia with $4,740 with 2.6 million population. And then we have Cape Verde with $4,650 with a population of 600,000, about 600,000 people. Okay, so based on this, if you're actually to discuss which countries have the richest people by GDP, based on the population, I can actually say South Africa is number one, and then Algeria is number two, because these people have highest population above even 20 million people. The rest are lesser than 10 million people. That should actually tells you how these countries, that is Algeria and South Africa, having this population and still manage to manage the economy to be able to have these huge figures for their people too. Okay, so that is a big shout out to my South Africans and to my Algerians, my Northern African brothers, and my Southern African people for this win and this marvelous milestone. This should actually tell us, based on the list, you can actually see that then the Southern African people actually cares about their people and their population. That is very lovely to see. Okay, so big shout outs to my Southern African, having at most 7 countries in the top 10 GDP, richest citizens by GDP per capita. That is actually beautiful to see. Big shout outs to my Southern Africans. Well, let's see some comments. Well, this person says, countries in the Southern African Development Community are doing well for themselves, with 5 of them are in this list, a list of Africa's richest citizens by GDP per capita. Well, yes, with about 5, but it is actually 7 countries here. Well, this person also says, very impressive for South Africa, as the only country with more than 4 million people on the list. Well, not actually. Algeria is on the list, so South Africa, though South Africa has the highest population on the list too. Well, this person also says, the citizens of these countries after seeing this report. Yo, that is so true. That is so much true. The citizens after seeing this report, we wish this is not just only on paper, but it will actually transfer into our pockets. Yo, imagine having every month about $5,000 in your account because of your country's economy is actually booming. Yep, but it's actually on paper though. That is so bad. Africa needs to do better. It's actually on paper. You can't see it in your pocket, brother. You can't see that in your pocket. Can't that? Well, this person also says, he says Nigeria has a lot of population, so why should we even be on the list? Is Egypt and Ethiopia there? No, it's GDP per capita, not GDP. Well, that's the Nigerian. The man is saying that Nigeria have a high population, so they shouldn't be on this list. Well, my Nigerian brother, if your government is actually taking care of the people, although you cannot make it to the top 10, but you can actually, or you should be actually being up to at least far enough. Okay, the country needs to do better. The government needs to do much more better for the good people of Nigeria, so Nigeria can actually improve. If not be on the list, you can actually improve, my brother. You guys can actually improve. So this is some founding that I found for my people of Africa. Hope you guys have learned something. The name of the say, and to big shout outs to my South Africans and my Algerians. You guys are actually, your government are actually doing great. You can actually hold them responsible for anything they are doing wrong, but you can't take away that they are actually doing great for you guys concerning or comparing to other African countries. This is Vidashi Studios, and welcome to African Time. Don't forget to follow, comment, share, and most importantly, comment. Let's have some discussion about Africa. See you guys around.